Hello everybody and welcome to the fourth round of the OGRL Coffee Cup. We're here, apologies for being a couple of days late. There's not much we can do about internet problems. We are here now though, live for you on a few days later for the fourth round here at Belle. Qualifying just underway at the moment. There are still a couple of laps times to come in from some of the top contenders like Brian Faluna and Ryan Merriam. So before I go through the standings, I will just jump to Merriam and Faluna because they are both on lap times at the moment. Faluna will be completing his session first, about 15 seconds or so before Ryan Merriam does, who has currently got the best time of anybody. Myself, Ian Leary, James Parfitt with you for this broadcast. It's good to be back on the streets of Belle, James, back where we started season 2 as it was. Now back for season 4 again. And these final two times will come across the line to set the grid. It looks like with a Ryan Merriam pole position.
Yeah, it does at the moment. We are just coming into the last few minutes. We've got about 4 minutes to go on that one, and then we're basically going to be able to see who has taken pole position. Tidwell's in there, David Van Roy, Faluna, Lovings, Probert, Cheney and Young, and we will find out how these guys get on as well. So it's going to be an interesting one, I think, and looking forward to seeing what happens and how this one goes. I can't see, I think it could go well, but then it may not go well considering it is Belle Isle and the streets are narrow and the walls are close and it could all just go wrong.
And that goes Ryan Merriam over the line, and that is a very, very big gap between first and second in this session. Everybody has done their 3 lap times, so the final 2.5 minutes of this session will not matter so much because everybody's done their laps. So I might as well go through them now, the points, to be honest, because everybody's done with Ryan Merriam on the pole position. And I'll start with the pro standings, since Ryan Merriam's in those. He's 6th at the moment, but he didn't go to the second round of the championship, don't forget, at the Bend Motorsports Park. Tim Probert has been to all the rounds so far, though, and he's not finished outside the top 4 yet. That is a 2-point gap for him ahead of David Van Roy. Brian Faluna only 3 points behind in 3rd place. Hayden Young then with a bit of a gap back to him, 4th place ahead of Bradley Lovings, the final driver to have been at all the rounds so far. Merriam ahead of Jeremy Cheney of those who've been at 2 rounds. Alfie Nichols, Michael Dion and Javi Serra rounding out those who have been at just the 1 down towards the bottom end of the pro standings. In Pro-Am, Cody Bont's leading by 8 points ahead of Quentin Price, with Justin Does Face 17 back already. Bradley Tidwell is 4th ahead of Tom Bryce, with Adam Hansen just outside that top 5. Brian Dudkowski as well. Alex Claudio is in 8th place ahead of Perno Hanno, the final driver to have been at all 3 rounds so far this season. James Cedric rounds out the top 10. And in the AMs, John Gardner is leading the way ahead of Heath Hollinger. That's just 1 point between those two. Michael Vester is 3rd, not that far behind, but a few points back. Julian Race and Jim Sawyer round out the top 5, with Nicholas Marshall, Peter Castelline, the last of those to have been at all the rounds so far. Scott Carlson's been at 2, and he's 8th at Brett Basil, and Curtis Matthews, who rounds out the top 10 in 10th, as you would. So that is how we're looking in the AM standings as well. I mean, with 3 races into what's going to be a 12-race season, it is far too early, really, for us, James, to draw too many conclusions from the first rounds of the season, because in none of the 3 categories is anybody really running away with it yet.
No, exactly. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm really not that fussed about their standings at this current moment in time. Yeah, they're there and they're giving the good people a good foothold. But at the moment, as you say, they don't really mean anything. You know, I'd probably wait till we get a little bit further down, maybe hit in Barcelona, Indy, where the standings kind of start really mattering before we go into the likes of Magny-Cours, Bathurst, Hungaroring and Sebring. At the moment, yeah, they're just there and people are just making sure that they're scoring points. So that's about it at the moment as well. And you know, they can all switch on their heads and they can all change really, really quickly.
I think this is a really crucial part of the season, though, as well. We're going to less big Grand Prix circuits. Well, I guess we're staying with some Grand Prix circuits, but some tight and twisty circuits are starting to appear on the calendar, like this one. To an extent, I guess Algarve and the Bend and Mid-Ohio to start, but I think it really starts now with Belle Isle on the streets. We've got Nürburgring GP, which is a little bit more difficult, especially with that fast chicane, which we're going to use next week. That's a little bit more difficult to overtake. Same with Zolder. Chicane's there, but they're a bit tighter and even more difficult to overtake on. Barcelona, we know, difficult. Indy Road might get a bit easier, after that. Manicourt, Bathurst, Hungarian, Sebring, which round out the season. So, yeah, I think this is a crucial part of the season. Track position, super, super important. And overtaking may become a little bit more difficult just for the next few weeks.
Yeah, I think so, especially when we get to the likes of, Zolder in a couple of weeks. Barcelona, we know, Barcelona's just, it's like Marmite. You either love it, you hate it, you either get great racing or it's just meh. And, that's how it is as well. Magny-Cours can be tricky. Bathurst, we know, 2 places really. Other than that, you're in the mountain section. It will just, if you go and overtake, it's going to end up going wrong. And Hungarian Ring, again, you just never know what sort of racing you're going to get out of it. It's a very up and down calendar, and I'm going to be interested to see how these guys handle this, because I think it could be bringing a great mix of racing.
Yeah, let's see. We got good racing last time we were here at Belle. I seem to remember the first round of the championship 2 seasons ago. But I guess first rounds of the championship were always slightly different to the rest of the rounds, so fair enough. 55 minutes will be put on the clock as always, and we've just about got time to go through the 29-car grid here for this race. And it's 2 different class pole sitters on the front row. Ryan Merriam and Brad Tidwell for Pro-Am. David Van Rooy and Brian Faluna will share row 2 ahead of Bradley Lovings, the last driver within a second of pole. Tim Probert just over a second off in 6th place, with the 7th going to Jeremy Cheney ahead of Hayden Young. James Hillerick is then next ahead of El Ziflo. I've got a first name. Quinton Price and Barry Acker round out row 6 ahead of Alexander Claudio and Will Bailey. Cody Bont 15th, but of Javier Sierra, who has got a little bit of work to do there, given these facts he's a pro driver. Rick Modric and Justin Dusvaser on row 9 ahead of Heath Ondra and Jim Sawyer, battling again the first 2 in the AMs. Tom Bryce is next to John Gardner, with Jeff Adkins and Brian Hoskins on row 12. Michael Vester and Michael Chaplin next to Jan Dvorak, Julian Rayson, Nicholas Marshall, all of whom have got onto the grid here, ready for the race. They've got on the grid very quickly as well between them, so the pace car can pull away already. As you can see, slightly dusky conditions here tonight in the race. Sun very much going down here at Detroit. Oh, coming up. I can't really tell which way it is right until we see the time. But at 6:30 in the morning in the beginning of June. So it's only going to get lighter from here. But it is noticeable the fact that the sun is sort of, it'll be in the eyes in some places, I would imagine. Yeah,
I definitely will be as well. We'll jump on board and have a look with the driver and see where they go and hit that sun spot. As I say, I think it's going to be coming very, very soon. I'm trying to think which way we're going round. It's going to be going round the turn 3, coming into 3. I think we're going to start seeing it in your eyeballs.
Does it rise in the east, sun? I don't really know. But if it does, then
east sets in the west, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know.
Does it?
I don't know. I always get the wrong way around.
Is it? No, it's east to. Is it? Oh, I don't know. Let's let YouTube chat. We're clearly dumb, so we don't know.
In which case, it will be down the back straight, as you say, in the eyes. But it might have risen through it anyway already. Let's see. As Ryan Merriam brings him to the green flag, the race begins here from Belle Isle. 55 minutes of action on the streets of Detroit begins here as Merriam dives into turn 1 and 2, clear of the rest of the field. Brad Tidwell leads him prime by some way, and it's a good start from him. The sun already is indeed too high in the sky. It won't look like it's a big factor in this race as they come down towards turn 3. Late on the brakes, of course, but got to be careful back in the pack. Remember some issues through here a couple of seasons ago on lap number 1. Did you remember Bill Backer going off straight off there? I don't think he'll appreciate me reminding him of that, but he's not in this race, so we're okay. It looks like all 29 have gotten through turn 3 on the first. Oh, it's way too soon. 1 around, and it's Brian Hoskins at the back of the field.
Yeah, Hoskins went round there as well. We'll have a look back at some of these incidents towards the end of the race. Obviously, this is an after effect. So unfortunately, we can't watch them live, otherwise it would just go wrong, so we're going to keep an eye on it back. But Ryan Merriam escaped as he did there. Bradley Tidwell sitting in second, Brian Faluna in third at the moment, and David Van Rooy there as well. It's going to be exciting to see how Van Rooy, Lovins, Probert, Cheney all start coming, battling away with each other, coming through the field as well. Faluna's in there. Tidwell doing a great job. Pro-Am sitting in second place overall in that Lamborghini. He's got a bit of work to try and do, but can he hold on to Faluna? Is that what's going to happen here?
That's going to be difficult, I think, for Tidwell to hold this position where he is at the moment, considering some of the guys behind him. Brian Kaluna's a very quick driver, as we've seen already this season. Took the victory at the Ben Motorsports Park. A little bit of an off day last week, finishing outside the top 5 for the first time this season, but he's right on it here. He'll be wide, close to the wall, out of turn number 2. Our camera, of course, hanging a little bit off the side of the car here, because we can break physics in our racing. In towards turn 3, and there is the look. It definitely is rising over there, but it's not in the eyes at the moment, so that's fine. Brad Tidwell able to keep the place for now, and they're queuing up behind him already. Ben Roy and Lovings are also here as well.
Yeah, Tidwell's a little bit of a cork in a bottle at the moment, and so he should be, to be blatantly honest with you. If he's got pace to stay there, stay there. That's what I say. And Tidwell giving him a good old go once more, holding on to that position there at the same time. There's Lovins in the back in his Mercedes. Tim Probert back in the McLaren in behind that as well. Jeremy Cheney, Hayden Young, James Hillerick all in this session. James Hillerick second Pro-Ams at the moment as well, with Gardner leading the way in the AMs. John Gardner down at the 19th overall. He's got Heath Hollinger closing in behind as well. So lots of action still taking place. Going to keep an eye and see, try and catch as much as we can, as David Ben Roy is under attack from Bradley Lovins.
He absolutely is. See that gap starting to open up in front of Ben Roy. The gap that wasn't there actually one lap ago when he was trailing Faluna pretty closely. And that turn now and on to the quick straight again. This is where this race might become a little bit of a problem in terms of getting stuck, because we do not have too many overtaking chances around here. Certainly turn 3 is a big recognised one, and turn 7's a half chance really. You need the driver in front to make a half mistake, and you need a very good run yourself as well, which Lovings hasn't quite got from here. It would have to be a very big lunge. Same for Jeremy Cheney in the background, who I think was saying to Probert, I'm not going to go down the inside. Nope, he wasn't saying that. He's coming down the inside now. It's turn 3, side by side, up over the curve for the Porsche. Oh, it's difficult for a Porsche to pass a McLaren into that corner with straight line speed required beforehand, but and he couldn't manage it. He bobbled over the curb a little bit too much, I think, there actually on the inside. Yeah,
jeopardising the exit. If he hadn't taken the curb or stayed away from it just a little bit, he might have been able to get the power down and escape, and unfortunately he just could not. He literally hit the curb and couldn't escape from it there as well. Then we've got further down, Quinton Price is mixing it up as well with Ziflo and Claudio, with Bailey in there. Lamborghinis are plenty, well, say a plenty, there's what, 4 of them in this race so far. As Quinton Price goes through, pushing Ziflo out, Claudio's going to get him as well. And that's the dangers of being pushed on offline through turns 7 and 8.
It absolutely is. You are always in a risk actually as well through turn 7 of actually just running straight into the wall, which is not what happened there, but it's very easy to do. Ziflo able to stay out of it. 4 Lamborghinis in the top 13 at the moment, which is pretty good going. And we do have 4 Porsches in the top 8. From the top 10 as well, as a Mercedes and Hillary, and an Acura as well of David Ben Roy. So a bit of variety. Will Bailey looks up the inside meantime of Ziflo and goes for it at turn 1. That's not a usual place, to make a move. But he's got 13th by the things in the background, and Ziflo has got to make sure that this doesn't become a recurring theme now, because there's a lot of drivers queuing up behind one another here. Cody Bont is next up, and he wants to get in on this as well. He knows that overtaking is going to be difficult when they all get single file, so he's got to make one now, and he does. Now Javier Sierra's next in line, and Ziflo has got to get in front of him now to stop this overtaking that's happening to him at the moment. That's quite a few places in this last lap.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ziflo, he's kind of gone out the window a little bit, hasn't it? He just sort of, well, rolled over, got his belly tickled, and that was the end of that one. He was just moving out the way for everybody, and at the moment, he needs to man up, stern up, I don't know. I don't really know what he's got to do, but at the moment, he's just getting rolled over. Absolutely rolled over. There's no defense, there's no nothing. He just, strange. To be honest with you.
It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult when there is so many coming through all at once. Very difficult to set yourself again, get that rhythm back. Not only about you, don't forget, it's about the drivers behind, seeing the driver in front of them make the overtake and thinking, well, I should probably follow through and strike while they're a little bit caught off guard here. And maybe now he'll be slightly alleviated of all the pressure, because Modric just made a mistake there, and Justin Does Face is quite close. Although Does Face doesn't go for it at turn number 1 like Will Bailey did last lap on Ziflo. Now through turn 2. You can get to turn 3 here without any
there's
sort
the
of
sun.
even a look from Modric. Then there is the sun. It's starting to get in the way, isn't it? It's starting to I thought it was too high to be already because it's the middle of June, but no, it wasn't high enough. So yeah, that's pretty annoying, to be honest, on the way down towards turn 3. It's the only corner where it would really be a problem because it's behind them by the time they're here. But yeah, that is annoying.
Very much so. I wouldn't want to be there. That's the time that you sit back and go, oh, and wear sunglasses. Otherwise, you can't see nothing. But I can tell you one man that is seeing nothing at the moment. It's Ryan Merriam. He's just escaping up the road, and he can thank Tidwell for that, because Tidwell is holding up for Luna like an absolute trooper. They're not even in the same team. They're not even part of the same team. Just the fact that Tidwell is positioning his car so well, where Faluna just has nowhere to go. He can't get through. He just has not got the pace. It's very, very easily done here. You can position your car in a very simple way, and then you just basically the person behind's absolutely knackered. So Jeff Atkins has just crashed, put himself back into pit lane, and so did Rick Modric and Will Bailey. So yeah, we lost a couple of people already.
We'll flag those to have a look. If you've not seen one of these recorded broadcasts, by the way, we can't show the replays live, but we can show them at the end of the day. So we will do that and show them at the end of the race. Luna puts pressure on Tidwell. Again here. Has he got the inside for 4? Not quite. If he didn't manage that cutback, it would have been very ideal. But Ben Roy now and Lovings are here. So this is where it gets more difficult for Luna. It's all well and good trying to make your moves, but actually if there's 2 queuing behind you, ready to take your place if you go offline anywhere or whatever, then it gets a lot more difficult.
That's the thing, it does. It's only I didn't say this before, but the man who's got to control this is Bradley Tidwell. He needs to put Faluna where he wants him. Tidwell at the moment has got to care about nothing. He's just got to care about making sure that his car's in the right place and his car is there, and that's it. He needs to control Faluna. If he wants Faluna on the outside, he's got to put him there. If he wants him on the inside, he's got to put him there. Tidwell's in one of them positions where he's got to think quite a bit at the moment. He's got to keep it out of the wall, position Faluna where he needs him, and then remember which way the track goes, because there's no point putting Faluna on the inside going into turn 1, especially when he'll get the exit out of 2. So yeah, Tidwell's got to do quite a lot of thinking at the moment, and one of them is working out how to keep Faluna there, to be blatantly honest with you. It's a difficult scenario, especially with Ben Roy and Lovins. Wow, that sun is beaming.
Well, yeah, as always.
No, but you know, don't be smart. You know what I mean, Mr. O'Leary.
Yeah, no, it's not in the right place there. Somebody could do with moving that, really. But anyway, as I said before, it's only into turn 3. Yeah, it's not one of the circuits in the world where actually into quite a few corners you're in trouble. If it was it's sunset around here, it's actually a lot more of a problem. It'd be in your eyes down here, for example, as Faluna has another look. He's been getting closer to Tidwell. His run on to turn 3 wasn't quite good enough. His run to 7 wasn't bad there, but he didn't decide going for the move. It's a very, very tight squeeze, as we know.
Yeah, it definitely was, and that's the thing. Ben Roy now has tucked in behind Lovins, and at the moment, Ben Roy can't get through on Faluna. Lovins can't clear any of them. James Hillerick leading the Pro-Ams and is in 9th place, with Barry Acker there as well, Quinton Price and Claudio all at the same in the position. So great fights all the way through the race.
This is the best of them, though, up towards the front of the Pro field, and of course involving the leader in the Pro-Ams. Tidwell walking a difficult line here between wanting to defend this place and keep that buffer, which is being provided by these 3 behind him, to the rest of the Pro-Am field, but also he doesn't want to be, crashed into by Faluna or Femroy or Bradley Lovings here. And obviously they're clean racers, whatever, but sometimes you can have incidents that fell out very, very easily. So he's walking a difficult line here, Tidwell, between those 2 things, wanting to keep these behind him and keep that buffer, but also not want to get involved in an incident.
Do you think Tidwell needs to move over, or do you think he's where he should be?
I don't think he needs to move over, but if they get start making contact with him and stuff, I might be advising him to move over. No, he doesn't have to move over by any means. This this is a tactical advantage for him to keep these 6 cars between himself and the Pro-Am second place. It's a tactical advantage for him. And of course, we score points on an overall basis in this series. So these are points that he would be losing as well by pulling over.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the things. Normally Pro-Ams, the Pro-Ams jump out the way and be like, oh, I don't want to get involved. But I'd just say to Tidwell, go for it. Absolutely, wring the neck out of that Lambo. You've kept Faluna behind. Ryan Merriam needs to take you out and buy you a pint because you've literally held up the whole field and he's now 7 seconds away. And I think you're doing a stunning job. So fair play, Bradley Tidwell, on that one. However, I am going to leave you for a minute because I just want to look at what's going on with Claudio and Sierra down here because they were having a right little ding-dong a little bit earlier on. Their gaps are coming up and down, up and down, up and down. And at the moment, they're still fighting it out, of course, in the Pro-Ams.
Bailey's on again. Is he having connection problems here, or is he crashing? He's
no, he entered pit lane. He hasn't.
Oh, he's in pit lane. Oh, right.
Yeah, he's entered pit lane. He ain't come back out.
That might be scheduled then. Actually, 42 minutes to go. The fuel will go quite a long way around here, and they have 60% of the normal tank. Could get you 36 minutes at least. 42 might be a tad bit of a stretch, but Bailey only in there for 11 seconds or so. It's a good start. So I think that might be our first scheduled pit stop of the day. We will wait and see a little bit later whether he makes it. But expect to see some early pit stops from some guys stuck in traffic, like maybe Quentin Price or Javier Sierra, who just saw there. They're stuck in traffic, so they might decide to come in early.
Yeah, I think it's more of a getting out of the way. It's kind of like let them carry on because you're not really making inroads on it. The only thing you might be able to do is save some fuel, of course. So therefore, you're looking at whether or not you want to overcut or undercut. And at the moment, if you're sitting in that scenario where you have to spin following the car for the first opening 15 minutes, you might as well look at whether or not you're going to change your fuel strategy, or you're just like me and just run it out until it runs out. And that's about it. That's about as much fuel management as I do out on the racetrack. But that's obviously what these guys have got to decide. Ben Roy, Faluna, Tidwell, Lovins, of course, are all still fighting out in the pack. And this, I suppose, in a way, is where the opening fuel strategy cycle comes from. So it's going to be whether or not any of these are going to jump in or jump out. Obviously, Billy Backer's in YouTube chat, and Bradley Tidwell, of course. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yep, welcome to both. Watching themselves. Well, Backer isn't, but Tidwell is at the moment. Just unusual. But anyway, Faluna close again. Look at that into turn 8. He's not going to dive down the inside there, though. Turn 9 as well. Almost touched there to just set him off course there, Tidwell, but through turn 10. Still absolutely nose to tail out of the fountain section. Less than 2 tenths of a second as well. But this is not an overtaking corner, really. Here at turn 12. He's got to stay close. How close can he stay through the final turn? Tidwell's exit better again. Lovings is actually closer to Ben Roy here as he comes over the line. He's not going to go for a turn 1. I wouldn't have thought. He needs a good run through here, though. And that's a better line from Ben Roy. Missed the apex slightly. Maybe Lovins can bring this one back a little bit. Tidwell very much off course. Faluna might be able to get into the slipstream of him now. He's certainly closer than what Lovings is to Ben Roy. He has a look down the inside, just Faluna, and no. Again, the 4 of them single file.
Yeah, they've just not been able to go anywhere. They're just playing almost follow my leader. And at the moment, Tidwell's the leader. It's just like, get in line, boys, hook up, and we'll go together. Because this is the thing. They got nowhere to go. This track, in a way, unless you are tucked right up somewhere on this run, for instance, down from 6 to 7 or from 2 to 3, everywhere else, Tidwell can position his car and they can't go anywhere. It's kind of like Nords in a way. You've got the run down into Arenberg where you might make an overtake, the run from Bergberg up into the carousel, the run down to Dottingerhoe, or if you're really brave, there might be a couple of others. Belle was the same. It's like Oldham Park. You can just position your car in a certain position and they're knackered. And this is exactly what Tidwell's doing. And these guys are either going to get extremely frustrated by the end of this race, or poor old Tidwell's going to end up in a wall because one of them just is going to go straight through him because they've just had enough of following that Lambo.
Oh, and there's a smack on the wall. Was that from Lovings? I don't think it would have done much damage coming out of turn 13 there, but it would have been a little bit of a touch on the wall. Yeah, they are surely going to get frustrated at some point. I'm sure internally they already are. Through turn 2, he just got much better exits here. And Ben Roy's actually got a double slipstream now. Is he going to punish Faluna's hesitancy now? No. I have a feeling Ben Roy's really fuel saving. Look at the way that he backed off there towards the back end of the straight there into turn 3. He really lifted off. He saw that gap open in front of him. And yeah, we'll just have a listen on the back straight to see if he is actually fuel saving at all. But I have a feeling that's what he's doing. Instead of making the on-track overtake, he's going to do this in the pit stops when they come round over the next 20 minutes or so. Let's have a listen here to see what he does by the end of the straight. Not really, maybe ever so slight, but it was visible on the way towards turn 3. Maybe turn 3 is where he's doing it a little bit more. But he wasn't that close, really, on the way towards turn 7 that time.
Yeah, I didn't really hear much of it. I kind of sort of... It was... Whoa! Wow. Yeah, he just a big snap there as well. We'll have a listen down in through 1 and 2. He's just clonked a wall again. Oh, we're still straight on the steering. Maybe it is to turn 3. He might roll, lift off and roll.
But, you know, he doesn't get very close to Faluna, or at least he's not this lap. You know, see, that was a 28.4, a little bit slower. So we'll listen again, but I'm not sure it'll do too much.
No, he's none. No. None at all.
Not that time. Maybe it was just a one-time thing then last lap, but Faluna has certainly let a... Oh, there you go. Faluna has certainly let a gap open in front of him, though. There's been a recent incident for one of these, I think, that has really created a big battle for Quentin Price all the way down here to Javier Sierra, who's having a look down the inside but can't make the move at turn 3.
Yeah, Claudio's in there. Jeremy Cheney had done something.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what he'd done. I don't know if he was just very slow for Cheney, but yeah, he was up with Probert, wasn't he, at one point? So I'm guessing he's had some form of drama. Bont's in there, Acker's in there, Quentin Price is there. So these guys continuing their march. This is a big old battle. This is leading out from Quentin Price, Acker, Bont, Cheney, Claudio, Sierra, all in the mix in that middle pack. So some great action all the way through. Top pack still fighting as they are. Still Tidwell, still Faluna, still Ben Boy, still Lovins. And then Price, Acker, Bont, Cheney, Claudio and Sierra behind that as well. Ziplo's getting himself in a mix as Cheney has just gone and sent it on Sierra.
Yeah. I think that was Claudio getting past Cheney, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, looking at the numbers there. So Cheney overtaken by Claudio through the fountain section, which is very rare to see. Somehow managed to lose a place through there. And you'd imagine Cheney, it would be advisable anyway for him to come in rather soon. He's clearly losing speed and he's losing places. A look at the inside there from Sierra, but no way through on Jeremy Cheney that time round. This is getting very, very difficult for this Porsche driver now after that spin earlier. Oh, and he's being overtaken by Sierra as well. This is for a pro position, don't forget, between these two. Sierra on the outside might not be able to brake as late as he wants to, but he can brake late enough. And through he goes into 13th position past Cheney.
Cheney's losing pace at the moment. He's got to look at whether or not he can go in. You can go in now and get to the end. So for me, it'd be a no-brainer for Cheney, really. Go in, get out of traffic, get your repairs done, get your fuel on, and away you go. It seems crazy staying out there, to be blatantly honest with you. I think if I was having an incident and then losing positions like he is, whether or not he's done damage to basically lose top speed, or he hasn't got enough of it through whatever damage.
Jesus.
Well, that's definitely an excuse to go into the pit lane.
Well, the problem is that he's going to come out in traffic if he does it. And you know, looking at the track map, there's just no clear track anymore. So it's very difficult. But yeah, I would be in, to be honest. Dan Sporak has crashed meantime, and he drops back to the pit lane. Again, we'll have a look at these things after the race with a replay run through. Practically, we're pointing out that he's normally driving when we're doing these things, but yes.
Yes, I suppose. I don't know. Do you know what, Brad? There's a very random statement because I'm not really quite sure what you expect us to answer to. Apart from, yes, you are.
Yeah.
There we go.
I think, I was talking about the anyway. Claudio is under pressure now from Sierra. Oh,
Wow.
as the whole field flicks out meantime. Here we go. Inside for Sierra. And now he's made one overtake. He's looking to make two. It's quite tight for the inside. Claudio with a decent run around the outside, but not brilliant. They'll still be side by side now through the rest of this first sector. Through turn 4, now 5. Outside again for Sierra. He's not going to manage it. And Claudio stays in front of Sierra, who nearly made a couple of overtakes in a couple of laps. That's wide open, Claudio. Oh, Sierra's going to go through easily. Danny as well. That was the mistake through turn 6. And Claudio loses the 2 positions.
Yeah, that was it. Unfortunately, one mistake, and he's going down now. Danny and Sierra got through, and that was the end of that. I think Will Bailey is having a bit of a mare, and I'm not going to compound that young man's misery, but he is having a bit of a nightmare, as poor old Will. He's just crashed, and he's gone in pit lane again. So unfortunately for him, there is some issues going on further down. Should we check in with this situational battle we've got going up front here with David Benroy, Lovins, Paluna, and still old Bradley Tidwell doing his thing in his Lambo out in front, holding up these guys to the extent of 11.4 seconds at the moment. So, you know, fair play, Brett. If you ever need a good stopper of traffic, hire Bradley Tidwell, I guess.
He's doing a good job of it at the moment. Ryan Merriam looking to win 2 in 2, by the way, after taking the victory last week at the Algarve. He'll be big favourite to do it again now. Although, with the wall so close around here, you just never know. Brian Hoskins, meantime, goes back to pit lane. There's been plenty of retirements further down, by the way. And we'll check in with them later. They come into turn 7. Tidwell is still under so much pressure, but I think Brian Faluna, based on our behaviour on the way towards turn 4 earlier this lap, by the way, I think Faluna has sort of given up on overtaking. He's maybe gone to conserving as well now, and thinking about how he can use his strategy to get ahead.
You know what? I would have loved to have been in Tidwell's car, or even like a camera in his house, and watching him right now. He reminds me, I don't know if anybody remembers a film called Aeroplane, where the pilot was just sweating and absolutely sweating. There's a meme about it as well. You can find a GIF in Discord of just sweating, this pilot sweating. That's what the image I have of Tidwell about now. He's just sat there absolutely reeking in sweat, trying to hold these back. He's going to get up off the chair, and there's just going to be a puddle sat behind him of where he once was. A figurine of Bradley Tidwell in his sim rig, because that is how much pressure he is up to at the moment.
A silhouette, I think is the word. Not
What?
figurine.
What?
He's made a small version of himself.
What did I say?
Figurine.
Well, unless he wants to be a prancing thing, I don't know. But yeah, I've sent it to you. That's my image of Bradley Tidwell.
I have seen the GIF, but you won't be surprised to learn I haven't seen the film, but I have seen the GIF.
I'm not surprised you haven't seen Aeroplane, to be blatantly honest. You've barely seen anything that we ever talk about on a broadcast in conjunction with films. So you are the worst film buff that I could possibly have a chat with.
Just rubbish.
What is?
Anyway, all of them. Anyway.
Oh my God. See what I have to put up with up here in the booth. It's a nightmare.
I have seen that GIF there, so there you go. I've at least got your comment there. I'd imagine he is quite sweaty at the moment with this pressure. But you know, there becomes a point where you actually become comfortable with the situation behind you in a battle like this. It's been driving for nearly half an hour like this now, and so there will be a sense of normality now, to a degree. Not sure how hot it was on the day where he is in the world, but he was driving in the UK today. It would be sweating.
Well, yesterday was horrendous. Today was slightly mild. Yesterday was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, down where we are, we were slightly mild. Yesterday.
Maybe it's made its way up here then, because it's very warm today, I guess. Certainly warmer than yesterday, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure it's quite like that in America at the moment, as Tidwell goes a little bit wide. Faluna again with a bit of an advantage, and Tidwell just showing that he will defend if he needs to, but probably won't need to on the way towards turn 7, because you need to be ultra close to actually do anything here. And Faluna wasn't quite close enough that time around, but yeah, Tidwell again showing that he will not roll over, he will not give this position away.
No, he's got no reason to. He's got no reason to at all, to be blatantly honest. Go for it, Brad. Give it some, son. And I think that's the That's my words of encouragement to Bradley Tidwell. Go for it.
He certainly is so far. Belluna, Venroy, Lovings, all queuing up behind him. And despite the fact they've not overtaken each other once, it's been quite an entertaining battle to watch, I've got to say, over the last 20 minutes or so. Venroy again gets close towards turn number 1, but is his line better and good enough through 2? Not really. He's kind of close, but is he close enough? Less than 2 tenths. Here we go. He looks down the inside. David Venroy. Belluna breaks late, though. And that was the good braking performance on that Porsche on the outside line to just stay in front of David Venroy.
Yeah. Still there. You know, they really, I want to see them go for it, right? And I want to see them nosedive each other. And I want to see Belluna stick his nose up the inside of Tidwell and Venroy and Lovins and everything else, all action. But I really don't want them to touch Bradley Tidwell because he's driving so well. Do you know what I mean? This is probably his best race we've ever watched at OGRL. He's probably driving out of his absolute skin. He feels like a Formula 1 world champion in that machine at the moment. But I want to see you battle. I don't want to see you play follow my leader. I don't want you to see doing this. I do want to see you battle. But please just don't touch Bradley Tidwell in the process.
I have a feeling that might not last all the way through, but we'll see as we're in the second half of the race. There's a damaged Acura just in front of them. That's Nicholas Marshall, who doesn't look like his car's quite driving straight to me. And that could provide a problem for Tidwell here. His run so far off of 2 has been what's saving him every single time. And if that's interrupted by Marshall, there could be a chance for Belluna. No, not quite.
Get out
Marshall
the way.
just about times that one right. He just about did enough corners in front of these guys and then got out of the way right at the last moment. So fair play to Nicholas Marshall for that one. He got out of the way and he lets these guys battle through. Probably I'm a fan of lap cars for staying where they are, but if they're damaged and in front of a 4 like this queuing up, then it was the right idea to get out of the way, and Marshall did it just about in the nick of time, and Tidwell above all will be very pleased about that.
Oh yeah, Tidwell's going to be happy as Larry, isn't he? He didn't want to be anywhere near that. He was just like, please move. Like, all of a sudden, Formula 1, I'm going to flash my lights, get your butt out of the way, because that's what he wanted. He needed that, because he's concentrating so hard. The flow he's got with the racetrack can't be interrupted. If just one thing's off for Tidwell, he might end up in a wall. Or if he thinks about one thing other than Belle Isle, other than racing, other than what line to take, other than what corners coming up, other than where to position a car, he can't even think about the fact his shoelace might be undone right about now, because otherwise there's a wall looming. Tidwell is literally full on concentrating his head off, and he needed Marshall to get out the way. Marshall had to move, because if it upset the flow of what's going on in Tidwell's head at this moment in time, God knows what would have happened.
Well, that's the fastest lap of the race so far from Bradley Lovings, by the way. Personal best, that is. And he's going to have the run up beyond Venroy, who didn't get that second corner right at all. 25 minutes to go, and is this the first chance for Lovings to go through? He doesn't even try on the way towards turn 3. So there you are. He stays where he is. And lap traffic now becoming more of a roll. We saw Marshall a few moments ago. Atkins and Vesta are just up the road, I think. Or maybe it is Champlin or one of the others.
It is Champlin, yeah. I think it's...
like, yeah, Champlin and Atkins it is.
Atkins
who's just
Champlin.
up in front there. They're not on the same lap, it's worth stressing. They are 22nd, 23rd, but they are a lap apart.
Yeah, you can see there on the right-hand side, Atkins is +2, Chaplin's +1. They both had dramas, as I say. We've got them marked, so we'll have a look back a little bit later on. Nick Marshall has just crashed to jump back to pit lane, but I think that's due to the fact that he could not get that car back into the pits. I'll bookmark it and I'll have a look, but I've got a funny feeling it's because he couldn't get the car back, which means I'll try and find his original incident, but we'll just keep an eye on it and see what happened. And as you can see, Dean Sport are continuing the fight, and now we've got back markers for company, and this is going to be an interesting how they're going to handle this.
Oh, Loving's very close to Venroy there, who got that all wrong through the final couple of corners. On they go, past half an hour here, and most of the field not having stopped yet. The top 18 have yet to be into the pit lane. Barry Acker the first of those who have, but look at this. Lovings might well have no choice almost but to go through here on the way towards turn 3. No, doesn't look like it. No, just to the end of 5th gear, and he can't get through, or doesn't want to.
Dear.
Maybe
Oh
both.
dear.
As here we go. We've got, is that Marshall again coming out the pit lane and straight back in front of them again?
Yes.
Like it is, yeah. He's been a bit unlucky so far, Marshall. Oh, be careful! He's gone the wrong side. It's Sidwell. Paluda's the other side. Oh, and they just about make it. There were 3 wide there through turn 6. Marshall there was really either side of him. Cars a lap ahead of him. Didn't know where to go, and somehow they make it through. Sidwell chose the wrong side there, really. Marshall was trying to get out the way to the left-hand side, to the outside of the next corner. It didn't work. They're all a lot closer now.
I don't know if Marshall was trying to get out of the way or if Marshall had a problem then. That's the thing. I don't know which way round that was. Whether or not Marshall was sliding coming out the corner or he was trying to get out the way and go to the left. Either way, he got split up like an absolute trooper. And one was one way, one was the other. And Tidwell still managed to hold on to it. So, yeah, I don't know if that was luck from Marshall, luck from Luna, or luck from Tidwell, all shining down on them. But at the moment, we've got more back markers playing a part as well here.
Tim Probert has seen this as well, and he's coming into the pit lane, so that might not be the worst idea. However, again, a lot of the drivers behind haven't stopped either, so if he comes out in big traffic, Tim Probert, then what's the point? He'll just be in different traffic, and slower traffic, don't forget, than what these guys will have been in before. We'll see where he comes out, Probert. He's got a bit of a gap here. He can get in front of the battle for 11th as it is now, Claudio and Dos Face, then he'll be going okay.
Got in pits.
Yep, so just Claudio on the circuit, and out the pit lane now goes Probert. Claudio will get past those, so that is a bit of traffic for Probert. He could have done with getting out ahead of the driver now in 10th.
Oh, Bont's gone and put himself in a wall. He's jumped back into pit lane as well. Cody Bond. So it's another one we've got earmarked.
Championship leader, by the way, in the Primes, who goes back to pit lane. Whereas Quentin Price currently in 3rd place, so he's going rather well, and that could be a change of championship lead there, at least in terms of total points for Cody Bont down in pit lane, and that'll be a bit of a repair.
Tidwell on the lights. Tidwell on the lights. And this is the Bradley Bear coming out now. He's like, get out of the way. You are now doing my nutting. There you go. Through he goes. Oh, Tidwell getting feisty on the lights there behind that pack marker. I don't even know who that was. I think it was Jeff Atkins.
Yeah, it was, I think. In the pit lane, though, Ben Roy decided that now is the time, with the traffic starting to become a bit of a problem. In the end, it wasn't as much of a problem as it could have been, but Ben Roy decided he'd seen enough anyway. So can he get in front of Claudio and get into some clean air here, David Ben Roy, as he makes his way down now out of the pit lane? Quentin Price is going to get through, but that's okay. Where is Claudio in the Corvette? Exit for Ben Roy. There's Claudio. I think he'll be okay. So Ben Roy's going to be in a bit of clean air. There's a bit of lap traffic, but that will be dispatched up very quickly. Look at that road in front of David Ben Roy here for him to use a bit of an undercut, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to try and get the pace going here for Luna now. Still where he is. This is the problem. We're trying to bring you back to the battle, but they're still as they are. Although this is the closest battle on the circuit at the moment, these guys are not really making inroads on anything other than, well, I don't really know. Have they just given Ben Roy an opportunity to jump them in pit lane? Is that the situation? Quentin Price is back in pit lane. Tim Probert, unfortunately, looks like he may have had some dramas. Oh, he's facing the wrong way.
Oh, no.
I would definitely say he's had a problem there, and we will look at that a little bit.
Oh, this is dangerous now. He needs to get going. Oh, no, he's on the racing line. Sierra gets past Barriaca there as well. Oh, his front bumper's hanging off now as well. Now he's got a bit of a space here, and now he'll go. But this is the championship leader with trouble here at Belle, and he's got suspension damage as well.
Yeah. He is in the initial terms of what we generally say, Mr. O'Leary, of, oh, look at that. Oh, blimey. We are broke. We are drastically broke. Yeah. And if he's used his fast repair on the first one, well, he's going to be...
Oh, and the bumper comes off, but he'll pull off to the left here just out the way. Out to the pit lane comes Luna, and Ben Roy's got a run at him towards turn 3. So Luna has decided that he's seen enough. He wants to cut off Roy if possible, and he has done it just in time. because he consolidates that place towards turn 3, but only just.
Yeah, only just there. But now it's Ben Roy going to put Faluna all under pressure. That's freed up Tidwell to basically just sit in front of Lovins. Lovins not really going to be looking at making any moves. I think he's probably going to be going into the pit lane. I wouldn't be surprised if they go in together, to be blatantly honest with you. And at the moment, these guys have just now got to use this time and space that they have got to run away, and they need to run away quick. Well, they're both in pit lane. So where is Ben Roy? Ooh, this might be close.
I have a feeling, by the way, they might have reached the limit. You know, they might want it to carry on, but I reckon they might have reached the limit here. 25 laps done. We'll see if Hayden Young backs up that theory, as well as that is that? Oh, it's Vester, sorry. Willem Bailey's out the race. Michael Vester trying to stay out the way. This is going to become a big factor in the last part of the race. Traffic, which is absolutely unavoidable. Hayden Young carries on, so clearly it wasn't necessary for them to come in, but Hayden Young, and this is maybe why they haven't stayed out, because look at this mess. Anyway, Tidwell and Lovings out the pit lane together. Lovings a bit quicker in the lane, but he was nowhere near behind him really on the way in, so he'll be behind. Oh, he's right in the way here as he gets onto the circuit. Has Lovings jumped for Luna? And Ben Roy might well have done. The overcut maybe for the Lamborghinis might just have worked here as Lovings in front of Faluna. What an in-lap from Tidwell Lovings.
Wow, who'd have thought they would have come out in front? Absolutely amazing. And now they've got another job here, and that is basically stop. Well, Faluna, he would have gone into the pits. I thought he made a right move, and then he's going to come out, and I don't even want to know what category the language is coming out of his mouth right about now, because to be honest with you, I would be a little bit grumpy if I went into the pits hoping to jump people and I come out losing a position.
Yeah, he won't be pleased, and the aggression now will just be turned up a bit. And what are these two teammates going to do, by the way, as well? I don't know if they're officially teammates with Well Lovings, but they certainly know each other well. And I just wonder whether they are going to swap places here, and whether Lovings is going to be allowed up the road. If that happens, then Brian Faluna is going to really have to follow through quickly as well.
If they do that, right, I will go over and I will kick Bradley Lovins' bum. Why would you make him move out of the way? He's driven amazingly. Stay where you are, Tidders. Go and get him. That's all I'm going to say to that one. Do not allow him through.
Well, let's find out what he decides to do here, because he's close, Lovings. He might not go through naturally anyway. What a run that is out of turn 2. Well, not quite as good as Tidwell. He's really got that line nailed down out of turn 2. Now, is he going to allow this to happen or not? The answer is not. So, no, he's not doing well as suggested. I understand that from these two. You know, I would be surprised if it would happen, but I was close in the theory. Tidwell will stay in front, and he will continue to defend this second place, which he has defended brilliantly well so far. That who's disintegrated their car just in front of them here. It wasn't that accurate. That's poor old Nicholas Marshall again.
I'm wondering, it's Julian Reese's BMW.
It is.
What is he like? Oh my God, he's got the boot. The boot, yep. The wing, the bump. No, the boot's gone, bumpers there.
How's he taking the boot off and not the bumper?
I can't answer the question. You sent an email to iRacing. Ask them. I don't know.
Well, no, it might make sense when we see the crash, but for now, I'm not seeing it make much sense. Let's see that later. Oh, Marshall stays in front for these next two corners. Tidwell not happy. Flashes the lights into the inside for turn 13, and Lovings will follow through. This is the peril of traffic. Thankfully, they won't have that BMW to deal with, but Tidwell here with not quite such a good run. Onto the front straight, Lovings making it clear he won't go through into turn 1 at least. He will stay behind here. Now into the again, if you like, the S's at the first couple of corners, and that's a decent run for Lovings, especially compared to Tidwell's great exits he's been getting out of turn 2. Now then onto the brakes at the end of the long straight. Not close enough. Tidwell survives another run through traffic.
Yeah. It's got a bit of time now until he hits 17th place, which is Gardner. JT leading the AMs, of course. Hillary leading the Pro-Ams. Tidwell leading the Pro-Ams. Sawyer leading the AMs, and Brian Merriam leading the Pros. There are other people in this race, just that these guys are the most exciting at the moment. They're battling away here. trying to clear Bradley Tidwell, which, oh my God, this guy has literally just driven out of his skin here tonight. I can't give enough superlatives. The boy has just done, the boy's done well.
Been brilliant so far from Tidwell, who's on the defensive again there towards 11. Is that going to allow Lovings a chance towards 12? It's an unusual place to make a move, and the straight's not long enough, so no. He has to stay behind for another couple of corners here. The front straight. Oh, and a smack on the wall from Lovings as well. We'll have to hope that hasn't done much damage, because Faluna's really close here. Faluna's going to have a go at turn 1, is he? He's got to strike now while Lovings has got the momentum away from him. And Faluna goes through. He wants to shut the door, but he can't. Lovings still there. They just squeeze one another out of turn 2. Here comes, in the meantime, David Benroy, who will try and come through on Lovings as well. Will they return to their previous positions in this race in the first run? It looks like they will. Benroy on the inside does indeed return to 4th place again.
Oh, Lovins. Oh, he did the hard work, dude. He literally did the hard work. Jumped him in pit lane, held it on the exit on the way out. One little tap of the wall, and he's back to where he started from. Gutted. I want to pick up what's happening down here at the moment, though, because Ziplo is finally looking to make positions forward. He was having a go at JT, who's just lost the lead of the AMS to Heath Bollinger, but again, I think that was basically in and around the pit stop cycle, so they're at the same time. So JT is now not leading the AMS. Heath Bollinger is. I thought Ziplo was going to have a go at him there, but unfortunately he did not. But for poor old Bradley Lovins, one tap of the wall, and he's back to where he started. As Ziplo's looking up the inside now, going into the left-hander on free. Is he going to get it here over JT? Oh,
not really. He was close, but Ziplo can't get through. White, and Sawyer stays in front in that 15th position. So Ziplo will have to try again, and this is again on drivers not in his class. Bollinger, by the way, 1.3 seconds in front of Tim Sawyer at the moment. So as things stand, Heath Bollinger would take the championship lead ahead of John Gardner, who's currently down in 17th place. But it's remaining very, very close between those two. Haven't checked in with Bollinger very much in this race, but yeah, he's been leading the whole way through.
Yeah, Barry Acker's got Dos Face for company. The guys fighting out here on the run right over the start-finish line, on the route down through into turn number 1. So great job from all of these guys, but how happy is this man going to be now? He's got a 1.1 second gap to Faluna, who's going to have a battle with Benroy, a battle with Lovins, and now Tidwell can just definitely do what he wants to do for the last 10.5 minutes. This was Sunday, right? Yes, it was. This is an after, what do we call it? A replay. Lovins is what? Tidwell's gone.
Tidwell. Oh, he's off. He's off on the way
gone.
through the fountain section, and he's gone.
He's out.
He's pulled off to the side of the circuit, and that is the end of that. He's just pulled off to the side and retired. It's given James Hillerick the lead. Haven't really talked about Hillerick at all today, but he's in the top 5, so we probably should have mentioned him already. But anyway, 5th place for Hillerick, and well, he is the Pro-Am leader. Bradley Tidwell pulls off to the side, and that is that.
Gutted. Poor old Brad. Poor old Brad. Best drive of your life, and then it just goes poof for whatever. You know what I mean? We're used to like VRs going black and people pulling over or something like that, but you know, we'll try and find out what goes on, of course, and we'll maybe see if we can get some announcements before the end of the broadcast, Ewan.
Yeah, he told us after the race that he had a PC crash. Oh, Bradley Loving has told us that.
You didn't get a hint, did you? You didn't get my hint. I said we were announcing it after the race of what happened.
Why?
The suspense, the drama. You know, you got to build up. It's like a TV program with murder. You don't give away the killer after the murder's done, do you? You build it up a little. Oh my God.
it's hardly a revelation.
Well, it's definitely 8 now, is it? That's it. The story's done.
Were you shocked?
What?
Were you shocked? I mean, was anyone shocked? It's hardly a suspense-building moment. If you
Well,
ask me.
Anyway, never mind. His PC crashed, basically, and poor old Tidwell at the parking. So, there we go.
Well, that's what Loving said. I mean, the way he pulled off to the side of the circuit didn't say PC crash to me, but anyway. It said something more like monitor going off or whatever. Normally when we have PC problems, you actually can't select them to look at them anymore at all, and they just disappear completely into thin air. So that's why I'm...
Right, I'm on the I wonder if it's VR black issues. I'm going to put what happened to you, and I've just sent him a message with the words, what happened to you?
Even a VR user?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
No, it's just that's what, I'm doing my investigative journalism.
That's good.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out exactly, but it didn't look like PC crash to me. That's what we've been told, though, at the end of the race. Either way, a big shame for him. Is he back? Yeah, he's back in the race. So he's had to restart his PC. He's actually got back in the race. Fair play to him. But 18th position for Bradley Tidwell. That is way down and where he's run most of this race. A great bit of defending, and it was all looking towards the fact that he might well have been able to keep that position. It looks like he would have kept that position all the way back to the end of the race. It looked like, but it's obviously come to an end now.
If that had happened to me, if I was Bradley Lovins, I would have put a red flag up. Stop the race, Tidwell, get back to where you was. Carry on, off you go. That's what I would have done. The guy was driving amazing. He's just been robbed. You know what I mean? Blinking computers.
Yeah, it's a shame. But what can you do? Well, nothing is the answer. It's just like a reliability fault in real life. Sometimes these things do happen from time to time. So these three have been promoted up to second, third, and fourth, and they're exactly where they were before because of that Loving's mistake. Faluna and Ben Roy were able to make the pass, and so they're exactly where they've been running for pretty much the whole of this race now.
Pretty much. Faluna, Ben Roy, Lovins, as they are, Merriam out in front by 14 seconds. The damage is already done. You're not going to catch them over the next 6 minutes. However, Dos Space was up a lot closer to Aka right there, and then Heath Bollinger and JT. Whoa! They're doing that. And JT's bundled his way through.
And that's the change for the AM lead. So we weren't expecting that, but Heath Bollinger's been caught by Jim Sawyer. And through he goes. If Ziplo gets through as well, that might well be that. But we thought the same for Ollinger when he was in front, and now he's in behind again. He will still take the championship lead by a point, by the way, but that won't be much of a concern to him right now. The concern is how he can get that race lead back again.
Well, the way JT's just muscled him, I'd be going in with my guns out, to be blatantly honest. And then literally saying, right, I'm coming back through then. If that's the way you want to do me, I'm going to come and do you like that, because JT proper got his elbows out and gave Ollinger a nice little smack on the side there and, yeah, bumped his way past.
Well, I think he's got the speed here, and Sawyer's going to drive away at the end. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, he's just, he's gone wide. Here comes Ollinger back down the inside, but Sawyer dives for the apex. Well, if he makes mistakes like that, it won't be quite so simple. But it looks like he had the speed. He's, got, of course, got the pressure, though, of Ollinger still right behind him.
Oh, well, that's a... Well, poor old JT, but bargain for Heath Ollinger. He gets to go again. So more updates on the Tidwell situation. Basically, the PC just pooped himself and froze. And that was it. He managed to get it out of the way, out of trouble, and basically it just froze up on him. So there we go.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a straight crash that just got him straight out the session. It was a froze moment. Meantime,
good son.
Ollinger gets close to Jim Sawyer in towards turn 3. Zipflo is wondering how he can get past these two. Doesn't really want to be involved in this. Sawyer on the outside gets through, and he makes it as well. Zipflo just tries to stay out of trouble here, but Ollinger can't get past. Sawyer holds the place, still 4 minutes for him to hold on here.
Yeah, the thing for Ollinger there as well, he had to be big and brave, and he wasn't big and brave. He had plenty of opportunity to go and send that through, and he just didn't. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, Ollinger was well alongside. He had plenty of opportunity, and he just couldn't do it there as well. I've got to jump up to Hayden Young because he's given poor old James Hillerick the pressure of his life here. We've got another Tidwell situation as Hillerick's trying to hold on in that Mercedes over Hayden Young, and obviously Hillerick now leading the Pro-Am. So let's hope we get a Pro-Am inside the top 5.
Yeah. Hayden Young has had a very quiet day so far. We'll try and put an end to that. By the way, it's a good job that Ryan Merriam's got 13.5 seconds because he's right in behind that group of 3 for 13th place. Also the AM leading battle as well. There he is, right there. 3 minutes to go. Therefore 2 laps to go. But right in traffic, and that's exactly where he doesn't want to be at the moment.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to be in there, but I'm sure, well, I don't really know what these guys are going to do. Is Zifflo going to move over? Is he going to not? Is Merriam just going to sit there and follow him for the next couple of laps? He really doesn't have a, well, he can afford to. He can't obviously, to be fair, he could probably sit there for the whole entire race and just follow these guys and let them crack on, to be blatantly honest with you.
Yeah, I think so. Last time round, the group behind him were in the low 28s. These guys were in the low 32s, so his lead would be cut by 2/3 if he stays behind them at that pace for the rest of the race. But even so, more than 4 seconds is just about comfortable. And of course, he could do one less lap in this race. If these guys were out of the way, then he'd be able to get an extra lap in. But he's not going to. He's behind these guys. I think he will just sit there and wait.
Yeah, I would. If I was Ryan Merriam and I had that gap as well, not that I'm ever in the lead where I'm actually lapping people, to be blatantly honest, but if I was him, I would just literally sit there and see how they get on and whether or not they're going to be able to have a fight with each other. Zifflo's going to have a go at Ollinger. Oh, no. Ryan Merriam's there as well. We've got 136, he did 127s. I think this is going to be very, very close. I think Ryan Merriam's even slowing down. I think it's going to be the final lap of the race here.
There's no white flag, but he's never going to do a lap in 1 minute 24. So I'm not sure why they didn't go in the right flag there, but I'm sure they'll show him the checkered flag next time. This is close for Ollinger and Sawyer. It won't be the last lap for these two if they stay in front of Merriam, but they might take each other off down the other side. Here they go. Sawyer quite late on the brakes there. It's going to be a comeback from Ollinger, is it? But no, not quite. He's close in behind. They're going to want to stay in front. At least Ollinger is going to want to stay in front of Merriam to give him an extra lap here.
Yeah. These guys are going to... What? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you want that extra lap. Like, Ollinger needs that extra lap. JT, if Merriam clears Ollinger and not JT gets the extra lap, and that's it, the fight over. Merriam's got to get him both, I think, or leave him alone. Don't touch him.
Whitey. Oh, Sawyer there, very nearly found the wall. But yeah, is Merriam going to overtake one of these two as he comes towards the end here? The seconds are ticking by. Is he even going to be shown the checkered flag this time round? Because he didn't see the white flag a couple of moments ago, and he's pulling off to the side. He's letting Zifflo through as well. He wants him to have that battle as well. Fair play to Ryan Merriam. He knows the situation here, and he's staying right out the way of it. He's going to receive the checkered flag here in a moment as the seconds tick by. The race comes to a close, and Ryan Merriam takes victory on the streets of Detroit. A dominant display from the Port driver, and he takes 2 wins in a row now to go on with the one at the Algarve last week. Luna goes over the line behind as Loving's got Ben Roy on the line as well. What about the Atley? Side by side again as Ollinger tries to get Royer outside again. This is like a replay of the previous lap, and he can't do it. He's still alongside just about. Zifflo's trying to get involved. He's still alongside. Oh, there's contact. Zifflo's got into the side of Heath Ollinger, who will not get the AM victory. It will go to Jim Sawyer as further up the field. James Hillerick will come across the line, and he will take the Pro-Am victory in place of Bradley Tidwell, who drove most of this race in the lead. And Hillerick holds on to a top 5 position overall.
Oh, Zifflo lets him through. Oh, fair play. Gotta give him props for that. But it's not going to be a consolidation, but it's something, right? Zifflo made the mistake. He knew he'd bumped him, stopped, let him go through again. Oh, fair play, but yeah, that was JT. You kind of got away with one there.
Certainly did. Well, they're all battling for position. Knowledge, to be honest, could have seen that coming down the inside, to be honest, on the last lap. Ziplo was definitely alongside. It wasn't a necessarily late move, but there you go. Oh, is the replay finished?
Yeah, for somebody who ever recorded it, that it basically has just gone and sent it to me, and that's the end of that. So there we go.
Oh, there you go. Jim Sawyer, anyway, will take the win. As you're about to see, Ryan Merriam takes the win overall ahead of Brian Faluna, Bradley Livingston, David Roy, who entertained us so much through that race. James Sawyer at the prime winner, rounds out the top 5, holding off Hayden Young. Javier Sierra and Barry Acker round out those finishing within a minute of the win, with Justin Dospace, Jeremy Cheney, Alexander Claudio, next head of Tom Bright. Tim Sawyer got to the line first in the AMS, ahead of Heath Ollinger, as we just saw, with Ziflo just behind. John Gardner loses the championship lead to Ollinger, even despite all that, with Michael Champlin, Bradley Tidwell, and Nicholas Marshall, and Jeff Atkins in the top 20. Michael Vester was 4 laps down to this race, 8 down. Tim Probert retired after his problem. This will have to become his drop round for this section of the season, because on total points he'll lose his championship lead. Quentin Price, 24th, head of Cody Bump, Brian Hoskins, Dan Tvorak, Will Bailey, and Rick Modric, who round up the 29 who started. A few replays to look at then, and then we'll sign off. But yeah, replay run through first of all of everything that went on there.
Yeah, well, Michael Chaplin had some drama right at the beginning, and this is it. But I'm wondering if that's because everybody just kind of checked up. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. I think that was the Hoskins one, wasn't it?
Yep. Hoskins was hit round. I think that's Michael Vester in the Mustang.
Yeah.
Pretty wide. Didn't quite fit.
Yeah, and then Jeff Atkins had drama not long. He had it actually a lap later, so I will click on it because I thought it was not long after this one. But this is Atkinson's moment.
Yeah, I would imagine
there's a wall there. Yeah.
The power actually goes nose first into the wall, which is a little bit rare to see.
He jumps back to pit lane. Now, I'm only going to focus on the people that went straight back to pit lane after, because there was a lot of minor ones. There is one I want to look at who said they got an off track, which I find highly amusing, and they got an off track at a circuit with walls. So there we go. Remember we had Jeremy Cheney?
Yes. This was near Tim Probert at the time.
Yeah, this is it.
Just a simple spin there. Oh, and Hayden Young just had to slip through. That was close.
Yeah.
There's James Hinnerich as well.
Michael Chaplin's drama. Oh, is it a wall on the way in then? I love the livery. Livery looks cool.
A lot of spins on the power so far, which is unusual.
Yeah, Dan Tvorak was another one who went straight back into pit lane. Oh, he's bounced the curb.
All over the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He unfortunately bounced the curb. Right, Hoskins sent himself back to pit lane with this one.
See how this one happened again on the power. Turn 11.
Wow.
Over the bumps. And straight into the wall. So there's another one to add to the list. So many on the power.
Yeah, well, then he went back to pit lane. He come back out and he did this.
Oh, dear. Oh, this might be cold tyres. Understeers straight into the wall.
Yeah, and breaks the car. Unfortunately for him. Now, Vesta went straight back into pit lane. I can't actually find what happened. This was Nick Marshall's. Now, we said I thought the car was already broken, but maybe this is actually him making an error. Oh, it was him.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is a bit more common at this circuit. That penultimate corner there.
Yeah. Now, I want to have a look at this, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to catch this properly. It was the Tidwell where they split the back marker. And I think it was Nick Marshall they split, didn't they?
It was, yeah. So it probably is on this lap.
Yeah, because there he is. So
yeah,
I wanted to... Yeah, I wanted to find out if he slid or was he trying to get out of the way? Maybe I'm going to quite tell from the chopper, but this is where they split him side by side. Now, was he trying to get out of the way?
I think he was, yeah. But
Oh,
obviously, looking in his mirrors, didn't know where to go. 3 wide. It's an impossible situation when you're a lap car.
yeah,
Once they go either side of you like that.
yeah, you're kind of knackered. Oh, Bont. That was Bont's incident, clearly. As he goes,
When he went into the wall.
yeah, into the wall there as well. Quinton Price sent himself back into pit lane with this
He
one.
could have really benefited from Bont being out the race, but
He's already bouncing
maybe
there.
not. Oh no, that's odd.
No, he was already bouncing on the way in. Watch the front of that Lamborghini on the right-hand side. He gets well unsettled coming up through here. Watch, it starts bouncing there, and it's already out of sorts. And then he's got the wheel as he went to needed to turn was in the air, and he just had nothing. So there we go. John Gardner's drama. We're getting a little bit later on in the race now as well. He had 2 moments. This was his first one. I won't focus on the second.
Oh no, Probert.
This was Probert's. That was Probert's moment. I think this is the one we saw, didn't we?
Oh, he didn't see the impact, but we saw the aftermath. Oh, and he's trying to get out of the way, but he thinks he is, but he gets straight into the Mercedes, and that's how. Goodness! Oh, wow, that's big damage actually for Gardner. But that's how Probert was also having his front bumper hanging off. I can't believe he's trying to drive that back. By the way.
Yeah, this is Julian Reese where we saw the bit how he did his boot. So he hits that, and then does that, and then does that.
look at the rear wing there. Oh, the boot's gone miles as well. That would be
no, the boot's. Oh no, it's.
Look going around. Look at this.
The boot's
bouncing off like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, and then there was just poor old Michael Vester. I think this might be the last one, to be honest. Obviously, there's Tidwell's, but Tidwell just went back to pit lane, so we know what happened to him.
Almost to see that. Yeah. Oh, ouch. Very similar to Tim Probert. Slides through turn 4, rear first, straight into the vents. Oh, Julian Race tried to carry on. What is he doing?
I don't know. But he did that again.
Not surprised.
So there we go. And Vester also tried to carry on as well and did this.
What are they doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I saw the
so that was it.
Wheel tracks through the grass here. It must be why.
Yeah.
It went for a spin. But yeah, there we go. There's all the replays at the end of the day, as always. So yeah, that's it for round 4 here at Belle. I mean, exactly what we expected really from this race, but it just shows you that you don't always need overtakes to have an entertaining race. That battle for second was a very entertaining one, despite the fact that they only changed positions once or twice.
Yeah, I agree. I enjoyed it. He did a great job. So fair play. Gutted for Tidwell though. Gutted.
Yeah, it's a real shame, but it's always the way, isn't it? When you're having a good race, the technical problems do rear their head, and that's what happened here today, unfortunately. For Brad Tidwell, we'll see how he bounces back, along with the rest of the field, of course, on Sunday, when we are back live from the Nürburgring on the 17th of August. That'll be round 5, of course. So hope that you can join us then. For now, I've been Ian O'Leary alongside Chad Parfitt. Until we see you at that race on Sunday at the Nürburgring, it's goodbye for now.